to do something when they don't know why they're doing it, or who they're doing it for, or what exactly they're doing it for. All right, let's go to the next one. Just a simple one. Rank the car parts. Come and just shout it out. Which part of the car is most important? Number one priority.
Brakes.
Brakes.
What situation am I in?
You see, there you go. Who wants the car? I was just going to live in it. It's so expensive. It's just a place to live cheaply. And who, me? Never going to drive it. So now, what's the most important parts of a car? Hey, the seats, maybe the cooling, the heater, maybe the lights. Don't need the damn brakes. All right, so this is what I do a lot of my work. Tell people, stop, think, organize, plan. Who, big, what, for, how. And this is what I go all over the world doing. Well, this is not new because of AI-generated stupidity. Humans have been stupid for decades, getting stupider for the last 30 years. And finally, I'm telling you, they do not do something as simple as stop, think, organize, plan, big why, big who, big what, before how. That is why we in Silicon Valley Alliances have these stickers. Okay. So thank you for playing along, and let's figure out how to use AI as a tool in our toolkit to become AI augmented human being. I put that on my
I want one of those stickers. How can I get one?
Me too.
All right. Yeah. Send me an email with your address and I'll pop it in the mail.
Okay.
So pick it up at Kimberly's house when you go for music.
Yeah, there you go. So the last thing I will say is, and I encourage you to do this because we're all kidding about AI is going to destroy us and data centers are using lots of energy. I put on LinkedIn profile that I am an AI augmented human, Kimberly Scrappy AI augmented human, and was at a climate event yesterday called Fridays for the Future, and they said, oh, data centers are using a lot of energy. Data centers in the U.S. use less 5% of the electricity. Now, houses that we live in, on the other hand, use 35%. Really want to save the planet, turn off your lights. Okay, so let's get busy, people. I'm going to pass over to Jeff. Let me throw my rubber chicken head, baby.
I thought you were going to give us inform people about that. We've got some rules on how we operate here.
That's right. We have rules. How do we operate? Okay, so thank you for the reminder, Jeff. Yeah, we have what we call working together agreements. And let me just paste those into the chat here. And then everybody to just have a look at those. So we learn from each other, listen actively, participate each other, share and encourage each other. We're recording the sessions sometime, not always. I'm not sure about this time. Yeah, it is recording, sorry. We don't distribute the content formally. So, help each other, work together, think win-win, and expand your brain so that you can, be here to leave with an expanded understanding of the world in which we're living. There are always dangers and threats. Right now, we're living under the threat of a nuclear war and electromagnetic pulse attacks. Okay, I'm much more afraid of that than AI. Okay, so anyone else have a desire to say something about working together agreements and the status of human stupidity?
Yeah, can you just post that in Kimberly?
I did. I already posted it.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not seeing it. Dang.
I don't see it either.
Huh, maybe I sent it to a private. Oh, I sent it to someone's private note taker. Dang, I don't know how to send it to somebody else. Oh my God, I'm trying to send it to in general, but it only lets me send.
If you click the top, it's changed.
I tried clicking the top. Okay. Oh, wait, now they changed it. Oh my God, they changed how it works. There's now squares.
Yeah, look at that.
Let's say everyone. Oh my, they had updated that. And then I also want to put it in that we are going to be recording this time. All right. So Zoom keeps changing.
I know.
Thank goodness.
I don't see it.
Now we see it. Thanks.
Where's the squares?
We'll have to hit the record button as well, Kim, because the
It's already recording apparently.
No, it's not. That's the note takers that always.
Oh, really?
It's recording on my system. I see it.
No, it's not recording. That is recording for the note takers, which
Oh, okay.
if we
I
want
don't know how to. So if somebody wants to record, go ahead. I don't know how to do it right
just
now.
hit the record button.
Right, because I don't have the authority to.
Yeah, I also don't have.
Oh, there's the record button on the bottom. I see. Okie dokie. Record to this computer. Record to the cloud. Try. All right. And the only other thing is, I have a friend who stayed overnight because I, took him out drinking and dancing, and I got to go get my power supply for my computer before it runs out of juice. I didn't want to wake him up, and I think he's stirring.
All right.
All right.
Just to make us co-hosts as well, Kimberly. Jeff and myself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, got to keep. This is a team sport, and I really appreciate Maria supporting by helping. I did.
I'm going to take the handoff. And my name's Jeff Richardson. I've been partnering with Kimberly since 2003. I think is when we started. I've been off doing some corporate stuff for the last 6 years, but I'm back. Started to jump in with this group, and a lot of what I've done in the past has been around team dynamics and organizational dynamics, and but how do you? It's very human-centered, right? From design thinking to cross-functional teams and all of that. So, as obviously my brain goes to how's this and team environments, and so that's kind of I picked this, and I've been doing some research and experimenting, and so this is kind of one of those experiments. We created this as a learning laboratory that we can come in and try things out. And the whole idea is not only we're going to grab some insights, but we'll make some. There's some specific time that we're going to try 3 different activities. With only 6 of us here, we'll be able to probably just do it here in the main room, and we can record.
Well, we also have Zafar and Nasim, and they may be able to participate verbally, even if not by video.
I see Zafar kind of pop in and.
Yeah, Zafar and Nasim, they might have some trouble with their internet. They're in Pakistan, and so they may come in and go.
Internet's quite okay here. No problem.
Perfect. Because sometimes here it's not. Keep your videos on, then we'll see you. Otherwise, we won't see you.
And so I'm just popping into the chat of these activities that we do. Right? I'm just going to ask you on a show of hands, right? How was that? Was that a meaningful contribution on your part? And then we're just going to explore. Hey, what part? What did you like? How that activity went. What things surprised you, and what could consider doing differently. Because the whole idea is kind of sense of what aspects of these might work well for you, and what kind of situations, right, they might be well suited for. So just let me get some feedback. How many people, have you been using AI collaboratively? What kind of experiences? How about this? What percent of time do you spend using AI? Put me in the chat, write down a number. What percent of your using AI are you using that alone? Maria, when?
I just want to qualify it, because for me to use it, or it's being used by me because I don't know what's working in the background.
You using it.
Okay, thank you.
So Maria, so 80% of your time you're using it in collaboration with someone?
That's per day. I have to qualify it.
Okay. Right, so 20% of your day you're using it?
Yeah.
Are you using it alone or with other people?
I use it alone. Yeah.
Okay, so 90% in that. So
Yeah, he went into the percentage time when you are using it, they're using it collaborative. I mean, alone versus collaboratively. So
yeah, lone or with at least one other person. And for me, it's mostly alone as well.
I mean, the only time I use it collaboratively is when we're doing our workshops and we have 20 people from 10 different countries, and we're doing a leadership program, and we ask ChatGPT, how should I deal with this team member of mine that I want to strangle because he never delivers his action items on time? We put it up on, or we're working on innovation, and we say, give us give us ideas about how you can apply polymers to the space industry. We did that last September. We got some ideas, and we chose one, and they did a 6-month entrepreneurship project to figure out how to do make spaceships lighter, rockets lighter, so that they would take less fuel to lift off, and they would contaminate the environment less, and so it would be better for the climate.
Well, Lynetta, you said 40% of the time. Can you share a little? Oh, this is just Lynetta's.
Yeah, so I guess the way that I answered it was 40% of the time for myself. The rest of the time is collaboratively, because I include things like the Fathom Note Taker. Again, that's AI generated. I have a whole tech stack that's automated that helps with all the networking I do. With my teams, we're constantly using AI, whether to build or make SOPs for ourselves or clients. So I would say most of it is probably collaboratively, but because we have many things automated, it's not always just happen to orchestrate it.
Love it. And again, those insights are going to be really valuable for us as we get into these activities, and specifically when we talk about some of the debrief. I put in there in the chat, but you're going to be kind of looking at those things at the end of each of these. So for our first activity, drop it in chat. What I'm going to do is break us into 2 groups. We've got people here, and I want one person to share their screen, and they'll be kind of the master of ceremonies. I want everyone else to get involved and write prompts. Now you can send a text to the entire group there, then that person can just copy and paste that prompt. That's the easiest way. If somebody's typing in a prompt, then you might want to use some verbal cues or whatever. But I want to think, what happens when you go and try to do that? Experiment, try some different things out. And then, we're going to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and, maybe do 10 minutes of, and I'll jump back and forth between the 2. We're going to have you do 10 minutes of exploration on a topic, then stay 5 minutes and do a little of that debrief. And then we'll come back into the full group and do some debrief. Are those instructions clear?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, Jeff, is I'll start 3 breakout rooms, and people will join. So if you don't know how to do that, you'll have to click on the breakout room on your menu, and then you'll have to see the breakout room menu, and you'll have into 3 groups of 3. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 humans are here. Yes. So is that okay for everybody? Everybody understand?
Kimberly, maybe if you and Maria are all in one group, we could help guide some of that.
You want to all be in the same group?
No,
Each in one
The
group.
opposite.
different group.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So I'll go to group number 1, Maria group number 2, Jeff group number 3, and everybody else join as you wish. Okay.
Perfect. We're going to figure out a topic that is relevant to this subject, and you can
And get prompt. Okay. And then you can always pull up the. There we go. And let me just make sure I will keep the rooms as you want. But Jeff, You said around 15 minutes, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
I don't see a prompt for breakout. Is that
Oh,
coming?
it will pop up now.
Okay.
Well, it should be, it already, no, just hang on just a second, all right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, opening the rooms. All right. So go ahead and, now if you're on the web instead of on a desktop, so I can assign you. So just tell me if you don't see it and I can assign you.
I don't see it.
You click on Breakout Rooms, June.
Okay, I'll put you in room 2. You're
I'm
welcome.
on iOS, so I'm not getting the prompt.
Okay, Bruce, I will put you in room 3. Let me just see here.
They really messed up a really well working UI.
What? What did they do?
I say Zoom really made their very
Oh, here we go.
system more complex.
Okay, Maria, you're gonna go to room 2, right?
Yeah, I can select.
Room would you like to go to?
Any room you want me to send to.
All right, in room 2 because nice.
Well, room 1 doesn't have.
I'm gonna go to room 1, but Maria, I don't want to.
Yeah, hello. This is Zafar here. This is Gioni. How are you doing?
Fine. I was in a room with Barbara Lee.
Yeah. Will somebody else would be joining us?
Yeah, actually, there should be a couple of other people joining us.
Okay. I want to know about the activity. Can you please let me know what this activity is all about? I mean, was using of AI individually and then collaboratively. And there's a question then.
Okay, well, hold on a second.
Oh, we lost June again.
Yeah, Ria, how are you? This is Zafar from Pakistan.
Oh gosh. Hi Zafar. Just give me a second. We're just trying to get June back.
Okay.
June. She's back. Man, there's many gremlins here this morning. I suppose one person should share the screen, whether it's ChatGPT or Perplexity or your tool that you like to use.
Oh, okay. Let me see if. Okay, I can do that.
And then what topic do we want to collaborate
Yeah,
on?
why doesn't somebody figure out the topic? Why go and share?
Zafar, do you have a topic?
Yeah, I love to talk about the abundance. I mean, the how AI can get us the world of abundance. Since it's an exponential technology, so like I mean, we've grown up with thinking and with an idea that the war's gonna be on waters eventually. So why not IT helps this AI helps us generate more water out of the renewable energy resources. And how can we do that? I mean, just because I always keep thinking anything anything represents scarcity. So abundance is what I mean. I would always look forward to that. I mean, how we can generate create the world of abundance through this AI. Instead of being scarce, it's gonna eat up all jobs and gonna get. Only the thinking is the mindset. How can we create the abundance minding this technology, AI?
Why don't we ask it just that and see what happens?
A brilliant idea.
Yeah. So I mean, we can put in a prompt to say something.
What was your question?
How can we create a world of abundance?
And then put in the next thing is ask me questions before you answer.
Okay.
Hit it, Vivian. Okay, questions.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
I don't have a paid version of this intensively today. I can use the one on my phone. Never mind.
Okay, now we
I
can
can offer more tailored vision for how we might build that world.
Yeah, but I suggest let's just answer the questions first.
Okay, so a long time. So that's not for this meeting.
Well, it won't take that long time. We can just say in abundance here, you're looking at scarcity of resources, right, Zafar?
Yeah. To me, the world of abundance is the co-creating, collaboratively creating the world of possibilities. Like, I mean, there was a point of time nobody thought of communicating the way we are doing right now. Like it's sitting apart, I mean, miles apart, but this is again this is world law. This is abundance. So same we can do. I mean, we keep thinking. I mean, we want to grab other resources, and just because of the scarcity, we can work on this podcast through collaborate and through communication. More we talk, less we fight. That's how I think about how can this world of abundance can be created. And this is what I keep doing all across the globe. I keep on, like Pakistan, India for 75 years now since their birth. I've been talking to everybody there, and they all are not for wars. I don't know why governments do, but the people do not to spend your money for wars, to killing somebody's kids, or like.
So the problem you're trying to solve is to eliminate wars because of a mindset of scarce. That's what you're talking about.
The one, yes, this is one of the very core objectives that I'm working for. Yeah.
Okay, so Maria, can you or Zafar can you take down his answers, text them to me when you get them all done?
I can just punch it in chat. June.
Oh, okay. So,
what do you mean you can't? Don't you see it at the bottom of your screen?
I actually know it's at the top. Okay. Okay, so I see it now. Okay.
So what I see. What?
Okay. If you allow me to.
Yeah.
How do I do this? For sure, I'm taking a lot of personal.
We're not thinking about how far we need to prompt up with tapping into the abundance chat has. So we need to guide it and say it is looking at, we envision abundance as at the personal, community, and global levels. Yeah. Is for people to collaborate, especially around resources that will lead to functional communities and stop wars. Okay, so I've added that in there.
Okay.
And then we can add the questions. Would like to contribute in this world through work and community to rewire communities and political systems for success. This requires mindset shifts and system changes. Just scroll up, June.
Oh yeah, I see all of that.
Yeah, but I scroll up the screen so I can see what's the other questions.
Oh, sorry.
Strategy and systems. All right, so let's choose one, Zafar, because it's going broad to try and look at everything. Education, mental health, economic opportunity, environment, technology.
In fact, it's about technology, because through technology you can achieve all rest.
Opportunity and other. Okay.
Oh, we can go for all, but ask me one. That's the technology.
Yeah. Okay. I just added technology, as I believe through technology you can achieve all the rest. Okay. Are there any people, organizations, or models that inspire you in this mission?
Yeah, see, like there are the people who are working, like Bill Gates is working for health, especially in education in the less underserved communities. There could be other also. I mean, there's one Rihan Allah Wallah from Pakistan. He's working for education, AI education. He's an abundant. But there are a lot many. But there are a lot of people. Like look at decision NGOs and all that. But despite the fact that UN has lost the real cause, but I mean, still it's in the world. I mean, they're working for this abundance. They are working for everything. There are World Business Council. They are working for this, and there are a lot of the but
And then basically, are there any books?
yeah, there are a lot. I mean, not a lot, but on the topic of abundance, there are books. But I mean,
So what books do you mind?
With the name of abundance, they are the same for the abundance. I have also written one through Chat GPT for 500 words, but I mean, trying to collaborate or trying to explain all aspects of abundance. But definitely, what you've written.
But Zafar, we need to prompt GPT to guide it in the type of aspects. But
peace, prosperity.
Model.
The first and foremost is peace and prosperity. And you can write two things, and this is inclusive of all. Peace and prosperity.
Typing that in, and then what would a world of abundance feel like?
It's like your home. When you get home, you have got it's so secure. You feel comfortable, and you also relax, and you have no fear. Everything there, and it's so comfortable. That's the world of abundance is that the way. I mean, against all scarcities. Anything negative. I mean, against anything negative, all positive. It's like very homely feelings. That I mean, if you are my home, I mean, we are all comfortable. But if I'm your enemy and you are my home, I mean, look at the feelings then.
Yeah, a world of abundance would feel to me like I'm home, comfortable, no fear, have everything, at peace with everyone around me, no negativity, all possibility, support, and loving others, and then safety. Okay. So I think what we can do is also then prompt it. So June, if you can just copy all that into ask anything, all the text I posted, and then please, how you see the world of abundance in this context will be our question.
Okay, so I pasted in.
Yeah, and then just then paste the.
Okay, so we have 1 minute.
Yeah, just paste the question in as well.
And we have got 1 minute to go back to the room.
What question was that?
The question is, how would you see the world of abundance in this context? Oh, but you don't seem to have the other things I've posted in there.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put that at the end.
Yeah.
One more time, how
would you see the world of abundance?
Oh, I'm in caps. Okay.
In this context.
Oh, it's not letting. We're leaving now.
No, we're not leaving. You can see that. Don't worry about the time.
Okay, world abundance.
Just question mark.
Okay.
We've got to go back to the rooms we've come from.
Recording in progress.
Barbara Lee, go ahead. Barbara Lee, why don't you share what you said, because you had some great insights when I was typing in busy stuff.
I don't remember what I said. It was in the moment. It was fantastic. So something that I love. So Kimberly shared her screen, and as we went, it's a great reminder that it like to think while we're reading the chat GPT, because as we're reading the chat GPT, I was like, well, we want, this is we want something simple that's already present, we can expand on, so it's not, too much. But then Kimberly had some great words because she's taken a lot of prompt training, she said, so she had the great way to word it. And then we're like, okay, we need to go a little bit deeper because this is very superficial. So going through it, there was collaborative talking and not just me reading what AI was saying and going, oh yeah, that sounds good. We got to say, oh, but what about, and we thought, that was the
Right. Spontaneity in the moment.
right.
June, I'm demonstrating the art of using your hand.
Okay.
What was your insight?
Well, I thought our group was fabulous because, I thought, oh my God, it's going to take us a half an hour to decide on something. Is his name Zafar? Zafar had a fabulous question about the universe, and it just worked out well. And one thing that Maria did that I've never done, will do from here on out, is ask me questions before you answer. And that just everything, because we got a list of questions that added dimension to the question, which was already very, very deep. Look at it. So she actually led the group, and Zafar basically answered the questions because that was the concept that he thought about, and it was just a wonderful.
How do you have access to those things to kind of pull them in? Or I think Planeta that you built that into your discuss what are 5 things that we should learn about this, and she's obviously going to go through that list.
And it's so important to ask her to ask you first to get context versus just asking it to come up with a response, because then you just get a very average, may not be there. And a little trick I learned about 2 weeks ago.
Thank you.
Cool. So maybe let's go to the next one. What would you try to do differently? So Planeta, what would you suggest that we, how could we make on better? How could we do this even better?
I think start out with a question with it, because I don't know if we started with a question. I think we kind of jumped in and started, but I think we could have asked it initially, like, hey, we want to create efficiencies for an organization. How can we go about doing that? Convey to them best how to use, AI and integrate AI into their processes. And so that might have sparked some additional ideas.
So you like to start with that, an overarching kind of, this is the main question that you want to solve here, a goal or whatever. Right, so you can collaborate around that, and boom, now we've got this solid, now let's drive it from there. And then there's plenty of different ways to go. Other things, ways to make this experience even better.
Well, one of the things that Barbara Lee noticed was the first responses we got were pretty, easy, obvious, not so subtle. And so maybe if we, had skipped over, let's say, skip over the obvious ones that any human being would know and go to things that might be less known,
Yeah. One of the things I think that we were learning also is to give it the prompt to make things so I think there's some balance in there that would have made that even better for us. Yep, Beverly.
I think that because we, okay, what do you ask? And, we only have 15 minutes, we're kind of timed. And I think as, in this case it was fine, but working as a collaborative, coming together and saying, okay, what is our goal together, taking that moment, 5 minutes to cut down the tree, right? So coming together and us taking a breath, asking each other questions. Okay, how can we best utilize this? Because what I found, that's a good idea. And because it gave me so many things, I really had to focus in, because I was like, oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't concise, right? So at the end of it, so what do you really want to know? And, 55 minutes sharpening the axe.
I think one thing we could have to basically also narrow down a little bit more of, first of all, what's the desired outcome that we look at, because and I think one of the dangers is that you start narrowing down about what you think your experience and your vision is. Not necessarily vision, but your experience of what you want to, taking a step back. And I think as a group, we could literally take a step back and say, what are the other questions we should be on, or how to look at? Because, again, if in this case, we talk about abundance, we have to understand that AI, these large language models, don't know what we don't know. It's how do you get it to tap and bring out those golden nuggets of things we're making of.
I just had a breakthrough. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. And then we'll go to June, and then we'll go on to our next activity.
I was like, oh my God, I asked ChatGPT just now. I put the prompt in that said, suggest ideas that are currently considered very difficult or labeled as impossible by current experts, in the same way that Lord Kelvin said bigger than air flying machines are impossible less than 10 years before the first flight. And I got the most incredible response from ChatGPT about the sustainability, corporate sustainability. It had said, here's what the current experts say about this topic. Here's why this might change. Here's what the current experts say about that topic. Here's why this might change. Holy crap. That was so cool.
Kimberly, I think there's a book there. Why don't take that into a book? That sounds so interesting. It's like, I think everybody would want to read it. So,
and what I want to highlight is, right, aha moments come only in human beings. So something about that interaction and this debrief sparks this thinking, right, that creates a prompt that changes the way she looks at or how she might approach things in the future. June, what did you have?
So what I wanted to say was, I liked how this all turned out for our group, because I think we did. I don't think I would have done anything differently, because I only knew what I knew then. And I think what I would suggest is to take a next step if we wanted to actually follow this on, and do exactly what Maria said and go deeper. And I mean, this in itself could be, an extended course, because of the question is okay. That's it.
And I think it would be that chats as well in chat, that we can refer back to that, because that's all part of.
A good segue to our next activity. 20 minutes to do this activity. That would give us minutes to come back and share that in. So what we're going to do is we're going to community, right? That we can explore. Obviously, AI for business development purpose. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I should have looked at our overall mission statement, because it's not just business development. Expand, are you?
Okay, so I would say we would focus on the results we want to achieve. Okay, so like you could give us some examples of. So a year from now, we would have experienced these following breakthroughs or lead in progress. Yeah, I got to go get my power clears, guys. You guys.
Yeah, right. And so what I'm doing is, right, this is kind of a combined brainstorm. I want you to do a little brainstorming on your own. Right, I'll drop this.
I'll set up 3 break rooms again.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, where's my break rooms? There we go. Yeah, I think
so we can just copy and paste that, right? And
we can.
What we want. What?
Sorry, just go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. Well, the thought was, right, that you can modify this, right, a little bit to make it your own interests, right? So somebody who's new to AI is going to be different than somebody that's, more seasoned and using it for different, right? I don't know what you specifically want to get out of this, what top, right? Do this, searching out top new, show up here over the next 3 months to learn about. You may want to use this prompt at providing the bullets and, consolidating some type of way to make more concise. Because then what you're going to do is you're going to share with everybody. So you can just do the copy paste into the chat, might be the easiest. If you do a couple of posts or prompts, you might want to share the whole thing. But then the whole idea is, then let's come back and, and then pull that into your individual. So if I have 3 people, and I'll pull Kimberly's inputs, copy and paste it into my ChatGPT, and then I'll take one from June. She's on my team, and then just to see what comes out of those inputs, and how do we, and then discuss each one of the 3 final results.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What questions do you have to clarify?
Where do I find the breakout rooms? I'm sorry.
It's not popped up yet. We
Well,
have to start with that.
I will do 2 because we only 7 people left.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh, who had to leave?
Some people have to leave after 1 hour.
Oh, right. I see. Okay.
So I will put Barbara Lee, F. June, and so Zafar in the one room, and I'll put Nassim, myself.
Right at top of the hour, so 20 minutes after.
Yeah.
Kimberly, if either you or I can remember to give people I'll give you a 5.
All right. Chris Lee, are you here able to participate?
Yes, I can. I'll be switching devices later.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to be here for the rest of the meeting.
So just hit join, and Kimberly, you and me can go to room 2.
So getting to room 1. Here we go.
It was so close, ripped us apart.
Don't you hate goodness sometimes? You have a countdown. You're like,
Technology just went. Okay, I stepped away for a moment, so just recap. What am I'm supposed to do,
I
right?
don't have a clue either. The breakout
Right.
rooms, I was going nuts.
so I'm dropping it into the chat here.
Okay.
Copy and paste that into whatever GPT or you know what I might use Notebook LM just to change things up.
Okay, so this is our beginning prompt.
Modify that because
Okay.
do it specifically. You're showing up here wanting to learn something specific. The use of AI. So June, it might be about, hey, how do I, how do I make, sales with this? How do I create a new product? And then use this, add this little piece here that I'm putting in there. And it'll just kind of condense things. Does that make sense?
More or less, I'm gonna wing it.
Right. And then just do a search, bring your results back,
Okay.
and continue to chat as we're going through here.
Yeah, see, it takes me a while to kind of figure out what I want to do. Okay, let me put that there and whoa, this into it.
Right. Also learning that, hey, giving some people would like a little preview, right? So you might need to send information.
Oh, you know what would be ahead of time because I could think of stuff and have stuff to the meeting that I've thought about. Thought-provoking topics.
I feel like I'm under pressure. I can't think.
So what is it that we can do, right?
See, but now I want to do what Maria had said. Ask me questions to get me to create the perfect prompt. Like that's what I want to use right now.
Oh, okay. So
Ask you 2 questions that would make it more. Another thing, we're balancing just that we have time to practice. You learned that lesson already.
Yeah.
So don't try to make the perfect post here, prompt.
Right. Yeah.
We're learning about group dynamics, prompt dynamics. I'm doing one focused on AI work. Is in that. And one of the things that I've noticed, right, is that
I renamed it to test that. I'm so excited.
nice.
It says, absolutely, Princessa. Let me help you.
So listen to this. Does this sound like a good one? Discuss the future of work in light that AI is taking many jobs, reducing the amount of time people have to accomplish tasks.
Sounds great. But we want topics phrased in 3 to 7 words. Did you use that exactly what you have there, but add the two things that I added there, because the ultimate goal is, see, I just added that in there. These are the topics that came up for me.
Put in bulleted list of words.
That way, once you post and you're going to copy mine and pull it in and say, you know, analyze what I've created and find, right? And what Barbara Lee and Jeff have.
Okay, so what I would do, I'm going to do what you're saying now, but what I would do, in light of the fact that I love Maria's statement, I would have just put it and then asked her question.
So if you had more time, you would spend 15 minutes to create, and or an hour, maybe with a team, 1 hour, and bring back response to this question, and you say use the share and bring back all your information, so that we're
okay. So I have my list that you asked, the bulleted stuff.
So copy and paste that back in the chat.
Oh, okay, it's a lot.
Of course.
Okay.
And I've got a lot in there too.
Yeah, answers. Okay. So, yeah.
Refine it.
Yeah.
I didn't even read mine.
Oh, it looks pretty cute. I have little doodahs in there, little pictures and everything.
Stars.
No, I have a little rocket ship, and then I have a little exclamation point and a single and a light bulb. Hey, my chat is rocking.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't like what I did, but I understand the process, so the words aren't going to matter right now.
Nope.
Because we're doing process, right?
Okay. Now if you copy and paste the other lists into and I'm using analyze the themes. Come up with a prompt that says you want to analyze, your responses in light of these new ones.
Okay, please let us know if we're going to be using these, because I'm concerned that I'm at chat time. I probably should.
How about this?
Pardon me?
Share my screen. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
So what I've done, I've just copied the first one. Where's the code of that?
I need my glasses.
Yours? Oh, yours are here. Okay.
Yeah, mine's just words.
Yeah, so I have mine
listed. Now what I've done is there's your first one. Oops. Include this as well.
Okay, you're getting those little doodahs too, so that's nice.
Sometimes I forget to hit shift enter, right, just to kind of separate things out, and it moves on without me.
So if I'm trying to, this is the teacher in me. I ask a lot of questions about process and stuff. So the purpose behind use ChatGPT and collaborate as a team. It's kind of like generating our own ideas, then we come together and we see what ChatGPT can bring to us, and then we can take it as a team and bring it back and say, okay, here's the primary, this is what works best for us. This is what we're going to implement, that type of thing. Yes?
Right.
Yes.
So then us having topics of conversation is making it weird. That's why it's weird to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But now each of us, right, are coming at it from our own self-interest and just looking for what's the common themes, right? This human operation.
Yeah.
Right? Globalization and cultural adaptation. Because for me, right, we're not going to be.
Can you make that a little bit? Sorry, Jeff. Can you make it a little bit bigger? I'm even having a hard time.
Do you know how?
Yeah. Shouldn't you just be able to make your screen bigger, like on your? Oh, you have a freaking Mac. Those are meant to be eaten. Apples are meant to be eaten.
I don't have a Mac actually.
Oh, it's not a Mac. Okay, then in your top right, like just your regular screen, you should be able to zoom. Not in your chat, like whatever your. No.
I don't.
Like three up in the top right-hand corner. So not on your
I
chat
have
screen.
archive and
You don't have a zoom piece. Okay, no worries.
hang on. I should.
What are you trying to do?
Just make his screen bigger. I cannot read it.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that's one of those lessons learned, right? It's got to be big enough if you're doing it this approach, right? The chair.
Well,
And I
a
don't
couple
think
things. Barbara Lee, are you on full screen? Because I'm
I am,
not. I'm not. Okay. So, Jeff, are you on full screen?
I am, and this is my second screen.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Let me see what it looks like full screen for me. Oh yeah, I can read it, but it's still really tiny.
Yeah.
But see, there's another thing, right?
The whole point is getting the insights, right?
Right.
Oh, you know what, Jeff? Can you hold down like a command key and hit plus, and everything gets better? Everything gets larger. See, on a Mac, it's a command key. On you might shift something or control something.
That's all right.
That's the last lesson learned.
Okay.
As this human AI collaboration becomes standard, AI should. You're right. I mean, AI. So this, it says AI collaboration, human-centric design in all roles, cross-disciplinary teams dominate work, AI content creation prompts.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the process. Yeah.
And so, but I like thinking, right? We could actually give an assignment that says each person, right, use this prompt so that GPT asks you questions.
Right.
We're going to respond from your own, your own position, your own role, and all that.
Right.
And then you can actually have, hey, put that into a file and upload that file into something that you can use.
Okay, the way I want to use it in a group and individual is you have your own personal stuff. Ask it questions about your personal stuff. And it really stays personal. And you can drill down. And you're not sharing this with the group because it's your own personal stuff.
So I just dropped in a link. I'm interested if you guys can click on that. Does that put you into this chat GPT?
Okay,
Yes,
number one sounds scary to me, but what actually does that mean? Does it take you into the chat GPT?
So
It just shows us what he wrote.
if you added to that, your next prompt would pull from all the information from all three of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm clicking on this, and it takes me to another screen, and I've lost my Zoom area. Okay, so and let's see what this is going to be now.
Because this is a great way then to get everyone back. But now it might be individual on each of our own devices.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't understand what
shared.
I'm looking at. Okay, it took a little time to get here. Okay, so this is the Jeff screen.
Right. Well, that is the
Okay, emergent.
that is the output
Okay.
from all three of our inputs.
Oh.
So basically what he's done, June, sorry, I'll explain a little differently, is he's taken his screen and given you access to read his screen, and you can now input in your own chat GPT any other changes. So if you want more clarity, now it's your own personal. So this is Jeff's screen. He shared his, it's kind of like sharing the doc, and now he's sharing access to be able to make changes to the document. But it's in your own chat.
Now that's interesting. Yeah, okay,
Perfect.
thank you. Okay,
And I think that's another key, right? Is how do we give instructions, right, to help people, clearly understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I just want to make sure. Let me get over to you so I can see your little faces. So I just want to make sure that I have it right. So what you've done is that you just copied the URL from your chat and shared that with us. I click on it, and now I see what you've done. Is that what you've done? What you did?
Yeah, in the upper right, you'll see on your screen as well, there's a share button, create a link. So you could share yours with me, share it with anybody.
In the upper right corner of what?
Of your chat GPT screen.
Okay, so
There's a share option.
I'm in a full screen now, so let me go.
Have you ever shared a Google Doc? Or any sort of online Google Sheet or anything like that? Have you ever done a share?
Yes, but I think I did shares differently. I'm here Dad, I don't see a share, but I can copy.
Chat. It's in your GPT. The output of.
Okay, I would just copy the URL. I don't see a share, and that's okay.
Okay, well, again, I'm using ChatGPT.
I'm using ChatGPT.
Okay, then look at what I'm showing you in the upper right corner is the share button. Do you not have that?
I do not have that.
So are you in an actual chat, June? Because you have to be in a chat to share something, not just chat in like a blank screen. So pick one of your chats.
I'm sitting here in ChatGPT right now.
Okay, and do you have a chat that you had open that you've done prior?
I'm looking at the one that I just did.
Okay. So, and do you see Jeff's pointing to it on his screen right now? In that top corner, it just says share.
Hello, no.
No? Can you share your screen so we can see what you're seeing? This is interesting. It's a great opportunity to learn.
And I think that's one of those things, right? As far as collaborative, hey, let's share our screens. And sometimes where it's like, it's right there. What do you?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's not on the same desktop, so I can't find it. So let me close.
While you're looking for that, June, I'm going to tell a quick story.
Oh, it is on the right. It is on the same desktop. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, just a quick story. So I was coaching one day, and I said to the lady, so we were talking on the phone, and I said, I like to do video calls. Is that all right? And she said, yeah. And I said, handy with, doing a video call. And she said, yeah. And I said, great. So I called her up one day, and I said, okay, I'm going to show you how to get there. She never used Zoom before. And I said, so, turn on your computer, let me know. Or I said, open up a web browser, and I'll send you a link. And so we're chit-chatting, and I'm like, okay, tell me what you see. And she says, I see a black screen. And I'm like, okay, turn on your computer, because she opened her laptop. So I said, open a browser. She opened her laptop. So we have to speak to people where they are.
Right.
Okay, so here's my screen.
So what I'm seeing already is you're using GPT and within a browser, and I have the application.
I have the app. There you go.
That's the difference. So you're right, June. You would just copy and share that link.
Oh, okay. So now I don't understand. You have the application. I thought you. This.
You're in Google, or you're in a browser, right?
Yes.
I'm in the application, so it's a.
How do you get the application? I don't know about
download it from the Google Store.
Okay.
And then June, what it does is it saves all your chats and everything, so you can go back to them. So if you open an account, and that's what you're doing by downloading, you're opening your own account. Now you have you've done up to this point, and you can always go back for reference and then get more clarity if you need.
Okay.
And I've got dozens of them, and I realize I never go back and look at any of my past, stuff or integrating that stuff. So I think
you know what I've been doing?
I know I do delete some, but I also want to learn from them.
I copy.
Say, how do I pull that in and then let it learn?
I copy and paste it into a Word doc, and I have my Word docs of all the past stuff.
That's fine too.
Yeah. Okay, but I like this. See what else I learned? I thought everything was browser stuff.
No, look at you learning and expanding those brain cells today.
God, so many things. This is today, Jeff.
Working collab. Thank you. This was fun.
And you thought I was crazy because I see the 3 dots. What's wrong with this person?
Recording in progress.
Yes, we did too.
We posted our chat and in the chat as well and we actually had it look at topic and give us an outline for a workshop.
Oh,
Nice.
You should be able to see that in chat.
okay. So part of getting back to my questions here. Meaningful contributions. Did you feel like you had a meaningful contribution outside of the detail? I mean, everybody wanted to do more depth, wanted to make this an hour and a half long activity and think more deeply about it. We should. But do you think that this approach of doing some offline work, bringing that together, did that a meaningful contribution to you? Show me on your hands numbers. How many? 5? This is a scale of 1 to 5.
Look at this. I didn't
5 is
do
high.
anything. Did my hand. Look at that.
That's
Oh,
cool.
thank you, Zafar, is sending the hearts. Thank you, Zafar. Yes.
June, that's AI, sweetheart. It's reading what it's doing.
I know. Isn't that great? Look at that.
All right. So what worked well about that approach? Jim, go first.
Well, actually, I learned quite a bit. This has been a remarkable session for me. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't know was I thought chat was a browser thing. I didn't know that you could download it, so I'm going to be downloading mine. If you want to share, and this is something I guess we could do, if we want to share what we've done, we can just share the links of on our chat or share something, and everybody could else is done in the group if you wanted
Right.
to.
Yeah,
So I think that's one of the things is figuring out what's your team's approach to this, right? Is there a place, right, to document, hey, we could put all that into this directory, right, or something like that,
Yeah.
and then pull all this information into, right, our group discussion. Hey, we're going to use but go off and spend an hour or two and explore these questions, and then, we'll pull all that information in and share that link.
Yeah, and that's why I say if one could just please in the chat just post the links to the chat.
We will.
But
We can do that.
Cool.
Right. What worked well about your little breakout?
Well, I loved it that we got a chance to be in small groups, that we could talk to each other, and we could do, experiments with things that were relevant to us that we might not have thought of doing by ourselves.
Right. So that's part of if you want buy-in to any final solution, it's got to have some of your self-interest in it, right? And a lot of times people don't feel like their voice is heard, or they can. Now, guess what? Your file is uploaded, your list is input, and it's a small way, I think, to get the connection, right, into whatever's coming out at the final end that we all have contributed to making that happen.
It doesn't feel like you're talking to a robot. It feels like you're using this robot as a tool for the team to be more efficient and effective.
Right.
Yes.
Maria?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was also learning from how others think. Was really interesting. It really expanded how I need to think about using the tool. As Kimberly says, become a AI. What's your word, Kim?
I'm an AI augmented human. That's what I have on my LinkedIn profile.
AI augmented human, and that form was quite valuable to collaborate around that. In a way, the format was a little bit how Scrum Masters workshops work in Agile, where you have a scribe and then everyone else is, bringing table.
It would be really interesting, right, to see an AI augmented Scrum, right, session design, and right, upload all this stuff in advance, and you can get in and get out probably much quicker. Great idea. Barbara Lee.
One of the things that was a good reminder to me is both Jeff and I are like, no, they're right there. Your dots are right there. And she was like, they're not there. Don't, they're crazy. We're like, no, we're thinking you're crazy because the dots are until we asked her to, share her screen or, see, we realized that she wasn't using the same, she was using the web browser version and not downloaded, personal version. So making sure that everybody's on the same page and has that same information. The same page, like literally in this case.
I was going to commit myself after this session.
Reminder in that
That's a
collaboration.
great idea, right, Barbara Lee, right? Oh, and wait, one person's like, hey, can you share that? Right? Because I'm just like, my screen, should we where that is? That was my thinking on how to solve the problem. And Barbara Lee's like, you know what, from a teaching perspective.
I was with you, Jeff. I said, okay.
I'm humble. Thank you. I think that's a great thing. Hey, let me see what you're doing. Let's this, right?
And just for a clarity sake, if y'all have children or grand, this is why teachers say, show your work, because we can see where the thinking went awry. If you don't show your work, we cannot help you get to the end result.
Right, that sequence of your prompted great insight. I think that will be something. So we're wrapping up here. What's one surprising thing you learned? Each person could share what you learned.
I wrote down, you said aha moments only come to human beings, and that reminds us that there are things that only we are capable of.
Yes. Cool.
Well, I learned that it's so much more effective to have these sessions be interactive, engaging, and experiential than to have a guest speaker.
I don't think the note takers will agree, but June.
Ask questions before you answer, and there are two versions of chat. I couldn't pick one.
Wow.
Oh my! I know.
Maria.
And I'm still trying to get my head around the two versions of chat, because for me the browser and the app are the same. But I suppose it depends on which tool you use, right? Am I missing something?
If you don't have the app, then you have individual situations in the browser.
Okay.
I think the takeaway for me is the need. We're not going to talk about group collaboration, not the app.
Okay.
So it's the need to really develop a team culture of how we're going to use this and how we're going to, and the need to have those instructions and time for people to process information. So pre-work is going to become so much more important because you're going to have to go off and do a bunch of things, right, and bring that information back. So thinking through some of those protocols and how you could create a rhythm for a team is one of my ahas.
Yeah,
Christopher, any ahas for you? Wow moments?
I need to think about that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Christopher, you just drive, my friend. Just drive. Don't worry about us. Unless you have one of
See,
those
the facilitator in me wants some input from.
I'm going to call Christopher Elbow Man.
It took me a little while to figure out what was going on there, too.
the elbow.
And he's a good 10-2 driver, too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I gotta go, guys. I'm gonna go to my climate, to my AI event today at Stanford, learning about AI for good. So cool.
Thank you, everyone, for actively participating.
All right. Thank you.
For facilitating this session. This was so much fun.
And life changing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to be able to tap into the collective expertise in the group, which, as I say, for me, the aha was also from our talk, is if you really want to have AI effectively deployed in your company, you need to look at it from a team learning and collab perspective.
That's right. Thank you so much, Jeff.
I have a quick question, Jeff.
If you need to drop off, but I'll hang around for a little.
Okay, thank you. With reference to the download of chat, do you need to pay for that at all?
No, it depends on it. It's not the app is just an app, June. So your subscription depends on your account subscription, whether you're using it in the browser or whether you use it as an application. It's not two different chat. It's the same chat. It's just the one you have an application and the one.
Okay. Do you is there a period where you put in a number of things and it says to you, "Oh, that's your limit today"?
Yes.
Okay.
On the free version, it gives me, I believe, 15 questions, I think, in a day.
Okay.
But it works fine. I just wait until the next day, or I've gotten better at making my prompts more concise.
Okay.
And Perplexity and all the others are the same. So yeah, but I think they become proficient in one tool before you start expanding too much to others.
And what I'm going to do is think about, right, what are some of the protocols that we could use for this group, right, that could help us with these breakout groups. Because again, we want to do more of that. We want this to be more of a learning lab. Sometimes we end up getting, a more traditional, teaching topic. But there might be some ways to, right, pull in inputs from people in advance to inform that whoever is presenting, different ways to make this a little bit, to explore different ways of engaging using AI and see how we can influence, right, the direction of how we explore this. All right, Beverly.
Well, one last question, and that is for me. I think today went perfectly. However, if you need more exacting questions or exact questions from me, give me a notice. I mean, send.
Oh, yeah.
But
It wasn't about the content today. It was about the process.
Okay, in that case, Fabulous.
If you learned about something about the process, then
Yeah. Yes.
you may-
Okay. Thank you. Have a fantastic week. Yep.
Marlene, did you share your group's chat?
She dropped off already.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'll stop the recording.
Okay. I got ours in there, and June brought hers in, but that's the same as mine.
Yeah, I shared ours as well, but I don't think Barbara Lee shared hers. But anyway.
Oh no, Barbara Lee was with us. Where's your? I don't see yours. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, it is there. I mean, if you browse up 10:04, 10:10, says group 2 updated link. And then you'll see there's a doc I posted as well.
And 10. I don't have anything in my chat feed at 10:10.
Share my screen and you can see. I'll just do desktop share. So there's June and yours. Then I added the document.
I think you might have been in your breakout room when you shared that.
Messages addressed. Let me just see if I can reshare that.
Yeah.
Show in Finder. I'll just do. Where the heck do I see? This is message everyone. Can you see? Can you see that one?
No.
How do I now get to share it with the whole group?
I think you shared it with the whole group in the breakout. Because you were still in the break rooms at that time.
Meeting. It's just
At the
funny.
time. See you, Christopher.
How do I say everyone?
You just have to copy that and put it into the chat now because you're back into the main room.
Well, I just did that.
Okay, I can see it now.
Okay, and let me load the.
But I think that was the confusion. I don't get to see what you shared in your breakout room, and you didn't get to see what I shared in mine.
Yeah, let me just do this so I can pull the file over because this was quite interesting, Jeff. Okay. To see my. There we go.
Where are you off to now, Christopher?
Dave and Buster's.
Oh, that's a collaborative experience.
So anyway, can you see the doc now, Jeff?
I can.
So yeah, that gave us a whole outline for slide deck, Miro board, and AI thinking partner.
Sweet.
Cool. All righty. Thank you, guys.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
It's what, that's for me, right? It comes back with so much so fast. But then here's the opportunity is, it's to sit down in a group and now let's go through that together. Or, right, how do we analyze? Hey, why don't you look at it about, I'm an expert in the mural board. Let me look at that. And then let's come back with recommendations on how we would improve this. Or why don't you research some of the facts in this section and I'll research the facts in this other section, right? Because we're not going to, move forward with this without verifying, right, this data. So those are some of the other, ways that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Ongoing collaboration, right? Not just a workshop situation.
Yeah, and this helps everyone expand as well. And then Yeah, as I say, I was toying around with some of the GPT, the framework that Jonathan Flower gave us last week.
Oh yeah.
And I know Kimberly sometimes gets a bit frustrating with the teaching workshop once, but yeah, there's so much to cover. It makes it hard.
Right, but you could also said, hey, Jonathan, why don't you give us, send us a link to your videos that you did that.
Yeah.
This way we can watch that in advance, and then we'll spend our time actually doing some activities on the things that you're recommending.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's elevating because, a lot of people, it's easy for them, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, you know what, let me just do my standard pitch. What is AI? What is this? Boom, right? This is how I kind of do, these workshops. And you have to think a lot differently if you're saying, all right, we want only interactive activities.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different starting to do the GPTs. We actually just worked with them to come up with a GPT for us. It's GalSpark, which it's quite interesting. We're using it now for content, and it's so we worked on a mess framework where we wrote up a Google Doc with about 30 pages, which we used to build the GPT, and then I could see how the framework Jonathan was talking about was actually coming into play.
Oh, cool.
You're talking about a couple hours just going through that on how you want to train this thing. Anyway.
Well, that was it. I watched some video online, and it had a QR code, and I clicked on it, and it's called Humor. Seriously funny. And it was some class from Stanford. But again, it's this customized GPT, and when you put it in there, it brings out super interesting solution ideas, and it adds humor throughout all of that. So that's my next thing, and it's just like, all right, how are you creating these customized GPTs that have a different level of organized intelligence, right? That's relevant to our team and our company and our industry and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I would go back to. The framework for Jonathan is actually quite easy to work with.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I like about it too. It's like, hey, click here, do this, right?
Yeah. Anyway, alrighty.
Awesome.
Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. City is going to be shut down tomorrow for the parade, so do not drive up to the city tomorrow.
I live in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You live in Dallas. So where in Dallas are you?
Actually, I'm north of Fort Worth. So I'm kind of on the ridge, the western edge of it all. But even my little town is, starting to grow exponentially.
I used to live in Oaklawn.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful area.
Yeah. Anyway.
We'll share Texas stories at another time.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good day.
All y'all have a good day.
Okay.
Bye.
So this was an amazing interaction with the people of Silicon Valley and that part of the world. I mean, this was interesting interaction with them. It was great teamwork, learning about the processes and how do we get hold of AI and how to use AI for the context and for the betterment for ourselves and the ways of the processes and how to use AI for our organizations, for individually or organizations collaboratively. Thank you so much. See you again.